take just a few moments this morning, like we've done the last few weeks, to think about some questions that we ask about giving. We try not to make it something we talk about a great deal here at our church, but because of that, every once in a while we need to have just a couple of conversations about giving. And so I'm trying to answer some of the questions that people might ask about why giving matters in our spiritual life. And one of the things that we try to tell you from the beginning of these little conversations is that people matter more than dollars and cents. Always have, always will. That doesn't change in any way, and we are committed to reflecting that truth in the life of our church here. And I hope that's what you've experienced. I hope that's what you experience today, and I hope that's what you experience in the days going ahead. But we do talk about the fact that there are some practical realities that come with life, and church includes some of those practical realities. And we talk about the fact that our giving, even as though it touches on practical things, it is first and foremost spiritual. We talked last week about the fact that we give through our church and not to our church. This is something that belongs to God, and so we seek to honor Him in that process. But this morning, what I want to spend is just a moment and just ask the question, how does my giving grow me? Practically, it takes care of some things in the life of the church. Spiritually, it honors and pleases God. But how does it grow me? What are the benefits, so to speak, out of giving in my life? One of the ones that I would just point out to you, and these are things that I've discovered from my own personal experience. One is that it helps push my faith into the rest of my life. We don't want to be the kind of people that are only living out their faith on Sunday mornings while we're in this room. We want to be the kind of people where our faith shows up in other places. And when we connect our faith and our finances, by its very nature, it just pushes it a little deeper and wider into our life. I would also say from a real practical standpoint that when we connect our faith and our finances, it grows our ability to trust God. There's no way in which you are going to rearrange your financial life that's not going to be a moment of trust, an experience of trust, and saying, God, okay, I'm going to trust you with this. And as we learn how to trust Him in this part of our life, it helps us to learn how to trust Him in other parts of our life. In fact, again, in my own experience, when I begin to discipline this part of my life, it gives me discipline in other parts of my life as well. I think one other thing that it does for me is that it begins to help me to see things from a little bit more of a spiritual viewpoint, because now I've shifted some of my financial life to care about some kingdom things. Then that kind of takes my heart with it. So as I move out my resources, now my affection and my heart goes toward those things. And so this morning, what I would just say to you is that if you consider this your church, that I would encourage you to be connecting your faith and your finances through giving, because it helps us to grow spiritually. It'll help you to grow spiritually as well.